Hey everybody, how is it going? This is Leah with Divine Global People, Divine Moon Yoga, and I wanted to jump on and explain to you all just exactly what it is that our group is offering this year and how some of the things have changed, and also just kind of connect you all with, some of the lingo and what it means to even do a yoga teacher training. It's definitely something that is different for each person, depending on where they are in life, and what they're wanting to do. Even though in the name it says yoga teacher training, that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to be a yoga teacher. And we get that a lot from our last two trainings. There was, some people that came out of the training that were like, I don't really want to be a teacher. I just want to deepen my practice. Like, I'm just interested in getting deeper within myself and understanding what this is and what it is that I'm tapping into. And so the 200-hour teacher training allows that, and it's known for that. Many people will do a teacher training and they are not planning on teaching. They're just wanting to deepen their practice. But often, a lot of them who go into the training thinking that they end up wanting to teach or teaching something, whether it be their family or a loved one, or at their school or at their job. It ends up being that they end up teaching even though they don't want to be a teacher, because it's just one of those things that when you start to take on that knowledge, it's almost a responsibility to share it in some way or form. It's really hard not to, but again, it's a journey. And so we say that a lot, like, trust the start to your journey, or welcome to the journey of yoga, right? Because everyone's going to find a different way as they go through their path on this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we're offering in this teacher training. So if you go to divineglobalpeople.org, divinemoonyoga.com, those all go to the same place, and greenpeace.com, right? These are all businesses that have, evolved through the years. They're all active businesses. So, there is a few different names, but they all are going to point you into the same direction, right? So Divine Global People is the umbrella that hosts this yoga teacher training. And then Divine Moon Yoga, Studio B. These are two entities below Divine Global People that are hosting this teacher training, right? So just to create a little clarity there. Our home for the teacher training is definitely in Corpus Christi, Texas. And it is a face-to-face training, although we are including many aspects of online training, because we do believe that this is something in the evolution of yoga and understanding of how to have offerings and how to share and connect with community. It's definitely important to be able to tap into this. And so we do teach aspects of that as well in this teacher training. So it starts in September and it ends in February. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of give you a bit of an explanation, although this does explain everything that I'm explaining here in this video. But I thought maybe I'd hop on and just explain the differences between the 100, 200, and 300-hour training, because they're very unique. So our typical training that you would need to go, teach at a gym or teach at another yoga studio, would be a 200-hour teacher training, right? And this is something that is not really um, policed, we'll say. There is an alliance called Yoga Alliance that was created as an alliance, but there are multiple. So nothing is really policed in that sense. It's more about the training. It's more about what you're getting from this training. It's more about the network. I really like to compare this process to the university setting, because you go in thinking that you're going to do this one thing, this one career, and then you come out and you've got like six ideas of six different careers that you could go in, and you're not really sure which direction to go in, and you just have to take that first step, and that, right? And so the same thing with the yoga teacher training. There's so many different facets of this training that teach you so much about how it can be applied to your daily life, to your work life, to your personal life, right? That there's so many directions that you can take. And if you're already in a career, it just complements your career, right? So saying that, it is very much about what it is that you're really wanting in regards to applying that to your job, right? Applying that to your life. So I've been certified since 2012. And, every time I have gone and, worked at a gym, a company, right, anything like that, it was all about this face to face interaction, showcasing what and connecting with the individual. So in the end, that's what's going to get you that job, right? If that is what it is that you're wanting. But tracking back, we definitely have lots of people that come into these trainings that are not looking to teach. These people are wanting to deepen their practice, dive into theory, dive into themselves, dive into their connection with themselves and their higher power, whatever that is, right? And so the 200-hour is also perfect for something like that because it is a lot of information in 200 hours, which ideally from that point of that 200-hour, you would continue your practice and continue on and do what you need to do to deepen your journey, right? So that is what a 200-hour signifies. And so you'll see here history of yoga, anatomy, right? Sequencing and cueing, asana and energetics. And it has the intro to all the different styles of yoga, right? So we're basically giving you a foundation. Then where you go with that is really up to you. And in our 200-hour training, we really focus on helping you in that workforce because we are a Divine Moon Yoga and Divine Global People is a community-based business where we root yogis within communities and get those yogis to connect with the community so that this grows our network, right? And that's the idea behind, the trainings. Saying that though, we also have created a 100-hour asana teacher training, which is below. And this one is going to be more for those people who are like, I don't really want to be tested. I don't want to teach. I don't really want to read. I just want to practice yoga and I want to get better at my yoga. I want to get better at my practice. And so we have a lot of that, right? And so we decided to add on this 100-hour asana teacher training. So at the end of it, you're going to get a 100-hour certification for the asana. Now, that 100-hour certification is not really enough to get you teaching. And that's why they bring in this idea of an alliance, right? Of an alliance that goes in and checks to make sure that you meet the codes, right? But in reality, that's something that you would do on your own. You have to make sure that you feel ready to teach, right? If that's what it is that you're wanting. If you want to teach yoga, 100-hour certification is not really enough, right? An online certification where you're not seeing someone face to face is not enough, right? A 200-hour is really not even enough, but it's enough to get you started, right? That's what I started with, and I've been teaching yoga pretty much full time ever since 2012. Haven't stopped. I love it, right? So this though, 100-hour teacher training, the bulletin is what's required of this training, right? So we have classes every Friday at 6:30 at Nueces. We are requiring you to come to that, right? We're going to have all day Sundays of our YTTs, which is the schedule that's below here. So you'll be required to come to only on Sundays. And the reason why that is because on Sundays are our practice days. So you'll be coming only on those Sundays in order to gain that 100-hour asana. You'll get 4 private yoga sessions with Kaizen and myself, and then you get the Acro Yogi weekend, or you're required to go to the Acro Yogi weekend. Once you complete those things, then you get the 100-hour asana. Now, On top of that, we're including unlimited yoga. So if you invest in this, you're going to get unlimited yoga with Divine Moon Yoga till February, which is a huge deal. So for someone that's looking to deepen their practice and also someone that is needing that discipline to get them, practicing more, meditating more, this is a great option for you. And so we created that for you. The last one, which we started last year, is the 300-hour teacher training, which is basically this training, the 200, with an additional 100 of retreat. So you're required to attend 3 retreats from the list, and you will receive, by attending those retreats, the extra 100-hour retreat teacher training. And so that's basically going to teach you about the basics of putting on ethical retreats, making sure that they're adventurous, fun, ethical, and safe, right? That's a big part of what it is that we're offering here. And just, again, working into network, because in the end, it's all about how you're communicating with your network, how you're developing your community. And that's what yoga is. Yoga means union. So in order for us to develop and grow, we have to unify, right? And so that is the breakdown of our 3 teacher trainings that we're offering this year. The tuition costs, we do have an early bird. It's till July 31st. As long as you put your deposit down by July 31st, you will still get that early bird rate. But if you miss that deadline, then you'll be getting the non-early bird rates, which are the ones below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We do have, if you're interested and you are, we want you to fill this out, let us know about yourself, submit it, and we will be getting back with you as soon as possible. There's so many things to look forward to this year. There's a lot going on, and I think that it's a really important year to make sure that you're tapping in to yourself, making sure that you're using self-care, making sure that you are, sharing that with your community and with mainly your loved ones. So a yoga teacher training, it can be for really anyone. And so if you're wondering, if you're curious, reach out. Let's get you into a couple of classes. Let's get the conversation rolling, and let's see what we can do for you. The light within me honors and bows to the light within each and every one of you watching this. Thank you so much. Namaste.